everybody. My name is Felix B. Pantoja III, and now we will be discussing about the aptitude test. But due to schedule conflict, I wouldn't be able to personally discuss what is it. But I have here a video from CareerVidz to discuss what is aptitude test. I hope you will enjoy and learn something from this presentation. Thank you.
In this tutorial, I am going to teach you how to pass an aptitude test. So if you have received notification that you are going to have to undertake an online aptitude test, make sure you watch this presentation because it will help you to succeed and to achieve that goal. This is what I'm going to cover. So I will explain what an aptitude test is. I will tell you the type of questions you will have to answer during your real aptitude test. I will then give you some sample aptitude test questions to help you prepare for the actual test, and I will then give you free access to online aptitude test questions to help you gain higher scores. So let's get straight into the tutorial. What is an aptitude test? Well, an aptitude test is used by employers to assess your ability to perform simple tasks and solve problems that are like the ones required within the job role you are applying for. So what type of questions are asked in an aptitude test? Well, the common type of questions that are asked during aptitude tests include numerical reasoning, verbal reasoning test questions, diagrammatic reasoning test questions, mechanical comprehension, spatial reasoning, and abstract reasoning test questions too. So these are the more common type of aptitude test questions, and I can pretty much guarantee these are the type that you will have to respond to during your aptitude test. And of course, the best way to prepare is to practice lots of questions under timed conditions. So let's start looking at some of these different type of aptitude test questions, and I will then get you to try some on the screen. So let's start off with numerical reasoning tests. Now, a numerical test assesses your ability to work with numbers and numerical data quickly and efficiently. So let's take a look at a sample question, and I will then get you to try one live on the screen. Numerical reasoning test question number 1. It states, a worker is required to be at work for 8 hours a day. She is entitled to 3 20-minute breaks and 1 1-hour lunch break during that 8-hour period. Now, if she works for 5 days per week, how many hours will she have worked after 7 weeks? And we are then given multiple choice options, and this is common during aptitude test questions, and you have to then determine which is the correct answer. So is it A, 225 hours, B, 294 hours, C, 280 hours, D, 140, or E, 210? And the best way to calculate the answer quickly is to use some simple steps. So step 1, calculate how many hours per day she works. Well, if she's at work for 8 hours, we have to then subtract the breaks that she has. So there are 3 20-minute breaks and then 1 1-hour lunch break. So that equals 8 hours minus 2 hours for the lunch breaks equals 6 hours per day. And then we calculate how many hours per week she works. Well, 6 hours per day times 5 days per week equals 30 hours a week. And because we need to calculate the answer over 7 weeks, all we do is multiply 30 by 7 weeks equals 210 hours. So we would select E as the option. Now that's taken us about a minute to work through. We would need to be faster during the aptitude test in order to gain a pass. And as I said before, the best way to achieve higher scores is to carry out lots of practice test questions. Let's move on to a different type of aptitude test. So what type of questions are asked in an aptitude test? Let's take a look at verbal reasoning test questions. Now, verbal reasoning test questions assess your ability to use the English language to create sentences, choose words, and determine facts based on information presented within the aptitude test question. So let's take a look at an example question, and I will then get you to try one. Which of the following words describes something that is convincing or believable? Circle your answer. Is it A, presumptuous, B, incredible, C, assumptive, or D, credible? So which of the following words describes something that is convincing or believable? And the correct answer is credible. And the answer is done. The next type of question that's asked during aptitude tests is diagrammatic reasoning test questions. Now, this type of aptitude test assesses your ability to interpret patterns, shapes and diagrams to solve simple problems. Let's take a look at an example aptitude test question that's based on diagrammatic reasoning. Question 5. Which figure comes next in the sequence, A, B, C or D? So from the top row of figures, we have to decide which one will go there from A, B, C or D in the bottom row. So we need to look for patterns. All we can see upon first inspection is lots of different shapes. However, when we look closely, we can see that the number of sides from left to right is increasing by 1 each time. So the triangle on the left has 3 sides, and there's a square 4 sides. And then we have another shape, third one along, which has 5 sides and then 6 sides. And the same as we move along, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we need to look for the same in the bottom row, and the only one that has that sequence of 3 sides, 4 sides, 5 sides, 6 sides is C. So the correct answer there that we would choose for our answer is C. And you will notice that as you practice lots more aptitude test questions, that these will become quite common and you will be able to figure out the sequence very quickly in the real test. So now it's your turn to try another aptitude test question, this is for marking. Question 6. Which figure comes next in the sequence? Okay, so you need to decide which one goes there from A, B, C or D. Here's a timer. Put your answer in the comments section below, please. Thank you. Okay, absolutely fantastic. Well done. Let's now move on to a different type of aptitude test question. This time we will look at mechanical comprehension. So a mechanical comprehension test requires you to answer aptitude test questions about cogs and wheels, pulley systems, gravity and balance, levers and springs, and machinery and tools. So let's take a look at an example question and then I will get you to try one. Question 7. Which rope is needed to support the load on the crane? So we've got 2 ropes, X and Y. So which rope is needed to support that 200 kilogram load? Is it A, rope X, B, rope Y, C, both of them, or D, neither? Now if we take away rope X, so you can see there that I've just removed X, then Y will not support it because the load would pull it down, so that rope would be redundant, doing nothing. If we take away Y, however, so you can see there that I've taken away Y, that will still hold the load because of the supporting rope at X. So the answer there is A, rope X. So that's the correct answer, A, and that's the one we will choose when answering this particular aptitude test question. Let's now take a look at another question. This time we will take a look at an aptitude test question that's based on abstract reasoning. So abstract reasoning tests are like diagrammatic reasoning tests in the fact that you must think how various shapes and patterns work together in a particular sequence. Now the primary reason for an employer using an abstract reasoning test as part of the aptitude assessment is to assess your ability to interpret relationships between different patterns and shapes. So let's take a look at an example aptitude test question. Question 9, which answer option completes the grid? Is it A, B, C or D? And we have to decide which one goes there in the top left hand corner. Now upon first inspection, these just look like a mass of different shapes. However, if we use a little bit of logic and we start with the right hand row, we can see there that on the right hand row there's white shapes outside and the internal shape is black. In the middle we have black shapes outside and a white shape inside, and then the one on the left is white shape outside, white shape inside, and the only one from that option, A, B, C or D, the multiple choice options, is A. So the correct answer would be A. Don't forget to tell me in the comments section below. Let's now take a look at a real common type of aptitude test question, and this one's numerical sequence test questions. Now numerical sequence test questions require you to determine which number or numbers come next in a line of numbers. So let's have a look at a sample question. Look carefully for the pattern and then choose which number comes next in the sequence. is it, and we have to decide which one goes there where the question mark is. So we have 3, 7, 15, 31, 63, 127. Which one comes next? Is it A, 255, B, 147, C, 254, or D, 227? Well, always start on the left and then work and try and see a pattern. So I can see there that what's happening is 3 is doubled, which gives 6, and then add 1. 7 is doubled, which gives 14, add 1. 15 doubled is 30 plus 1, 31. 31 doubled is 62 plus 1 is 63. 63 doubled is 126 plus 1 is 127. So that pattern means the number is doubling each time and then 1 being added on top. So the answer there would be 255. And again, the more you practice of these, the more you will find common sequences and patterns. So again, now it's your turn to try an aptitude marking thank you. Question 12, look carefully for the pattern and then choose which number comes next in the sequence. So which number comes on the right hand side? Is it A, 55, B, 47, C, 54, D, 50? Here's a timer. Brilliant. Let's have a look at spatial reasoning test questions now, which are common types of aptitude tests. Now, a spatial reasoning test is commonly used to determine a job applicant's ability to rotate 2D and 3D visual shapes and patterns to find the correct answer. Let's take a look at an example spatial reasoning test question. Question 13, which answer option, A, B, C or D, would look like the question figure if rotated the same? So the question figure is on the left, and my advice is to look for areas of the shapes that stand out. And in this particular shape we have the shaded part on the left and the circular part on the top. So I would be focusing on those and then rotating these shapes in my mind to choose which one is correct. And the only one that is relevant to the question figure is B, because you can see that the shaded parts are exactly the same, and that's the only one that is correct out of all of those 4 options, A, B, C or D. So you would choose B as your answer.